Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this video we'll be talking about how to connect to MySQL database in PHP with PDO. So I'll start by doing the opening and closing tag of PHP. So I've opened and closed the PHP tag. So we'll be creating 4 variables. So we'll be starting with the first one, which is host. So I've created the first variable host and gave it a value of localhost. So I'll create the second value called user, which means username. So I've created the user variable and the value is root. So if you install a XAMPP or a WAMP in your system, the default username for it is root. So in the third variable, I gave it a name of DB name, which means database name. So the name I gave it is test. So let's go to PHP and create this database. So in PHP I'll just create a database called test. So I've created the database over here. So I'll go over to Visual Studio and continue coding. So I'll create the fourth variable, which is the database password. So the variable is dbpass, which stands for database password. So as you can see, there's nothing inside it because when you install WAMP or XAMPP in your system, by default it doesn't have a password, so I left it at default. So after this, I'll create a try catch block. So inside the try catch block, I'll create a variable called DSN, which stands for data source name. So I've created the variable called DSN, which holds the value of MySQL colon hosts. Then I'll put the host that I created there. Then the DB name is equals to the DB variable that I created there. So after that, I'll create a PDO object because we'll be connecting to MySQL with PDO. So I'll create a variable to hold the object. So I've created the variable PDO, and inside the parameter I passed in the DSN that I just created there, then passed in the user variable and the password variable. So after this, I would like to set an attribute. So this attribute helps in debugging. So in the error mode exception, which I set as the attribute, it tells the PDO to throw an exception whenever a database error occurs. So it helps for better debugging. So let me just echo a message that will show that we have successfully connected to the database. So I'll write echo. So after setting the attribute, in the echo I wrote connected to database successfully, so that it will be printed in our browser to let us know that we have successfully connected to the database. So in the catch, I will put in the exception that we will throw in this attribute that we set here. So I'll come over here. So after catching the exception, I will use die, which gives immediate feedback about the failure. So in the die, it will print failed to connect to database, then it will print the error message. So let's go to the browser to test it out. So in the browser, I'll refresh to see if we'll connect to the database. So you can see that it's printed connected to database successfully. So we have connected to our database successfully. So let me just change and put in wrong credentials so that you see what is going to get printed out. So let me make mistake in the database name. Let's say I add something like w to the database name. So if I'm in the browser like this and I hit refresh, you can see failed to connect to database, and it print out the error unknown database test w. So this is how to connect to database. So thank you for watching my video. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, share, like and comment. So I'll be dropping more videos so that you grow in this tech journey. Stay tuned.